All right. Hello and welcome everyone to the week 1 recap of the free-to-play-through streams. If I was not clear in the first video, these are going to be weekly, as in one per week, usually going to be on a Monday or a Tuesday. And basically I'm going to go over all the streams that have happened since the previous recap and what all we've accomplished. So if that wasn't super clear, they're going to be once a week to get everybody caught up and ready for this week in the free-to-play-through streams and kind of what I'm going to be up to and trying to accomplish. With that, let's get into what we have accomplished since the last recap, and it is quite a bit. As you can see, we are using Rhino now, and let me tell you, it feels amazing, but we'll get into that in a moment. At the end of the last recap, we were going to be getting through Ceres. We needed to do the Archwing quest and all that business, and we did that and a whole lot more. We completed Ceres, we completed Jupiter, we completed Europa, we completed Saturn, Uranus, and we are now up to Neptune. And on Neptune so far, we have access to the third branch of the Void, which is incredibly important. Specifically, the first node you unlock here, which is Ukko. Ukko is an amazing node, and this is where you can farm Orokin containers. I have an entire video on doing that you can look at if you would like to do it for yourself. But this gives us access to farming a lot of rare mods, including one that we have already gotten from Ukko, and that is Vital Sense. That'll be more important in a second, but I just wanted to go over that this is an excellent farming location for a lot of rare mods. Those rare mods are unfortunately not listed in the official drop tables for Warframe, but let me break something down really quickly as it confuses a lot of people. This is branch 1 of the Void, and there's Hepit here. This is Ukko. So, this is level 10 to 15, this is level 30 to 35. There is a hidden restriction on a variety of the mods that are available from Orokin containers, where if the mission is not over level 20, you do not have access to the full drop tables, which is why Ukko is incredibly important, and Hepit is significantly less important. Just so that's super clear, I would love for them to clarify and make public the official drop tables for Orokin containers, but they are not currently so, as much as I would love to see that. Anyway, moving on, Neptune is going to be setting us up to go and do the second dream, which is incredibly important for spoiler. But we'll get into that in the next recap. If you have not done the second dream, I would highly suggest that you do it before you watch the next recap, as we're going to get into a lot of really important spoiler, that you'll probably want to see for yourself in the second dream before seeing me talk about it, basically. But yeah, so that's super good. Other things, basically, we are pretty much primed and ready to go Dragon Vault opening, which is going to give us access to considerably better mods for our Warframe, because as you can see, we're a little run down right now. We're in a rough spot, and this is not due to a lack of endo, as I was surprised to find out, but I have a massive lack of credits. As you can see, I am only in quadruple-digit credits right now, and it is absolutely rough times. We did manage to get a streamline from the first bounty on PoE, so that was excellent. Also, very worth noting here, I would suggest you only rank a streamline to rank 4 if you are a new player, as it saves you a plethora of credits that you can use for some other things, and a rank 4 streamline is going to be important for whenever we have certain corrupted mods, which I'm sure you will see in the next recap if you are only watching them. And we got Steel Charge, which is great. This is not maxed out yet because it's really expensive. That's the same to do with Stretch. It turns out maxing mods is really expensive whenever you just really don't have credits to go around. Other things that are worth noting is that I have not installed it yet, but I do have a reactor ready for Rhino, and the only reason I haven't installed it is because we are pretty much on the cusp of getting Gara, and Gara might need the reactor a little bit more than Rhino, and by a little bit I mean a lot of bit, in that I think Gara is going to be extremely good for our run overall, as she's a sort of jack-of-all-trades type of Warframe that can do a huge variety of things, including DPS, which is very important, without the use of weaponry. And And I think that she might need that reactor more than Rhino will, because honestly, the amount of filler mods that are in here right now, like Thieves, Wit, Flow, this Equilibrium, honestly, Mobilize could be removed for something more impactful. If I remove these 4 mods and then have a maxed Steel Charge, I have a really, really healthy pool of capacity to put a lot of corrupted mods in here that are very good for Rhino, and make him very useful without needing the extra points. So yeah, there's reasons why I haven't installed a reactor for anyone who was curious. Besides that, thing that I installed a catalyst on, the Vectis. The Vectis has kind of been the alternative to the Heck for this run, and I think it's been a really good choice so far. So, if you are into sniper rifles and don't mind zooming in, as I know there are a number of people that really hate zooming in to like a kind of first-person-ish like scope zoom, then I would really suggest the Vectis to you. This has been absolutely incredible. Ever since we got Vital Sense, the, let's say, walls that we've come up against have not really mattered. Pretty much any enemy we encounter is going to be taken out in only a couple of shots, including bosses such as Alad V and the like. So yeah, this has been incredible. The only thing we really need to do here is I'm going to need to get the Toxin dual stat whenever we get to the end of the star chart. Big whoop, that's going to be really easy, especially because, hey, we have a Vectis. And then besides that, removing cryo rounds, removing the sniper ammo mutation, and then getting... is that a 7... Yeah, that should bring us pretty close. Yeah, so once we remove these 2, we can get Split Chamber and put that in here. Though we'll likely get Vigilante Armaments first and swap that in for the position where Cryo Rounds is right now. And a kabillion other things to make this build better as we get access to better mods and, of course, be able to level things and all that business. So yeah, that's great. Vectis has worked wonderfully. My secondary slot, I've kind of just been using as a sort of MR dump, where I'm just throwing whatever the easiest thing to build or buy is into this slot, and just leveling it while I happen to be playing through other missions and things. And that's been working out really well. It turns out secondary mods are just extremely expensive, and until I can get a very high-impact secondary, such as the Atamos, which I'm currently considering building because it is MR5, and I need to build a thing for MR5 for one of the junctions, it's just not a very important slot. Like, pretty much your melee weapon is going to be your bread and butter at the very beginning of the game, and then that transitions into a very powerful primary, of which there are quite a few choices, like the Heck and the Vectis. And then from there, we want to kind of bounce back and get an extremely powerful melee weapon, which is going to be the Guandao. So the Guandao we got during the last stream, and we've leveled it just a little bit, but this weapon is incredibly, incredibly good. And a major thing to point out about the Guandao is, as long as you've joined a clan, which you should anyway, because you're really going to need the dragon keys by this point, the Guandao costs fucking nothing. Like, I'm going to put the requirements to build the Guandao on screen right now, and holy shit, I was surprised. I thought it cost considerably more than this, like 300, 400 Oxium or something like that. These are nothing. This weapon is put together with, like, loose toilet paper and a dream. Like, it costs you nothing to build this thing, and the Guandao is honestly an incredibly useful weapon. So this thing, with a full build on it, is going to be absolutely excellent. It's one of the very large range melee weapons. We're going to be putting regular reach on it. It's just going to get the full suite of mods that we're going to have access to after we do the second dream. It'll be excellent. This weapon is going to be absolutely fantastic, and will just be pulling its weight a whole lot whenever we have to level weapons in our primary slot. So yeah, like, build a Guandao. Like, you literally have no reason not to. For my brand new account, it was just free, basically. Like, it costs 30k credits, sure, and that's a little rough, because credits are a little rough for everything right now. But for what you get out of the Guandao, those 30k credits are more than worth it. So yeah, that's the Guandao stuff. Besides that, things that we are looking at doing right now is, like I said, we're going to be doing Cetus rep things and building Gara. We need to get to rank 3 on Cetus in order to build a Zaw, which I think is going to be extremely good for this run. There are some very, very powerful things you can do with Zaws, because they are pretty much just the best melee weapons in the game overall. So that's going to be really good. And then besides that, we pretty much just got to go dragon key farming and keep doing our main story quest to push us on through the star chart. So yeah, hopefully next recap you will see me with a suite of the new, of brand new corrupted mods, and also I should hopefully be freshly off of being able to do the index endurance and have a nice little nest egg of credits that I can spend on leveling those corrupted mods. So yeah, pretty much that's the walls that are in the way and the walls we've already broken down. Hope you guys have enjoyed this recap, and I hope you will tune in to the streams over on twitch.tv/Brozime. But if you can't, I look forward to seeing you guys next week in another recap. Later, everybody.